All right, guys, we made it. 3 minutes late, but we are here now live, ready to roll. What an intense week it has been for me so far. Want to make sure that you guys can hear me well and see me well. We are now live in the Social Marketing Hour on YouTube and on Facebook, broadcasting simultaneously on both platforms. We got a good show for you guys today. We're going to be talking about social media marketing, right? Surprise, surprise. It is a Social Marketing Hour. And I'm going to be bringing in a student of mine who has a digital agency himself, and he's been doing some great things based on the thing that he's been seeing. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to go next level marketing strategy, all right? So want to make sure that you guys get comfortable. It should be about 45 minutes to an hour. Before we get into it, I have a couple of questions for you guys. Have any of you already seen the 𝗙𝗢𝗥𝗡 interview that we did last week? That was an absolute epic interview. So if you haven't done that yet, you can hear it on the podcast, which is the Facebook Marketing Ninja podcast. It's already there if you want to listen to it while you're doing exercise, or let's say that you are cleaning the house, or you're just working on the computer and you want to listen to something cool. This was extremely powerful. Even for me, that I am so connected to 𝗙𝗢𝗥𝗡, that I have been working with him for so many years already, to see his thought process on the content generation machine that he has become, it's quite incredible. Some of the things that he talked about were things that a lot of you guys didn't know for sure in regards to this content machine that we have come to know as 𝗙𝗢𝗥𝗡. He had a public speaking fear. He was trying to drink alcohol to get rid of his problems back in the day. He's been doing this for 29 years. I mean, and the list goes on and on and on. So it tells you what the roadmap is, because a lot of the things that I see in the social media world is that people don't have enough patience to make it. They don't persist on a given path. They don't keep on pushing themselves to higher and higher levels as they actually get into the content generation process. And it's all part of it. At the beginning, you have a lot of fear. I mean, if you go back to my first podcast ever, which I literally picked up my phone and I downloaded an app called Anchor. If you guys don't know what it is, check it out. I'm a big fan of the platform. ANCHOR, just like a ship's anchor. And I created a podcast. And that single platform was sent everywhere. Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts and Spotify and all these places where we have podcast distribution. But my first podcast, and I have done a lot of them at this point, and I have a good amount of people that are listening to my podcast, my first one was done with my phone, with my iPhone 7, probably at that point, which is about 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago or so. And I was actually able to just record directly from my phone and start talking to the world. And I even had a different name for it. I just started doing it. It was called The Power of Marketing. Later on, maybe 6 months into it, nobody was paying attention, which is normal. You start doing something every day, every week, consistently, and nobody cares. It's all part of the process, and then eventually you start picking up. My big moment was when I realized that I had to have a specific area to cover. The power of marketing is such a big subject, so maybe you can get some takeaways from this particular story, because marketing is digital, it's traditional, it's Facebook, it's Google, it's YouTube, it's everything. It's a really, really broad subject. So when I say the power of marketing, people don't know exactly what they're going to learn when they come into my podcast. When I talk about Social Marketing Hour, well, what do you guys think you're going to learn? You're going to learn about social marketing. So that is very specific. So the moment that I changed the name of my podcast to the Facebook Marketing Ninja, you can do a great experiment. Go back to my first podcast. Go to anchor.fm/Facebook Ninja, or I think it's Facebook Ninja. Anchor.fm/Facebook Ninja. Go back to the first podcast ever that I launched, and you'll see how I called it power of marketing and how I sounded so uncertain of myself. And at that point, when I started rebranding the whole thing as the Facebook Marketing Ninja, then it started taking off. And right now, if you search for Facebook marketing, I'm at the top of the search results. If you look for Facebook advertising, you will find me there. Why? Because people are looking for specific information to help them increase their abilities in certain areas. And that's what you need to focus on. Figure that out, and then you will be able to get yourself well on the way. 𝗙𝗢𝗥𝗡's interview was absolutely epic. If you guys want to find it, just go to YouTube and check 𝗙𝗢𝗥𝗡 Manuel Suarez. It's probably going to be very easy for you guys to find it. It's on Facebook too. We have talked about it quite a bit, so check it out. I think it's even on Instagram TV, the whole interview itself. The week before, we had the legendary e-commerce guru, the incredible mentor of mine, Mr. Ben Cummins. So if you guys want to find out what the opportunity is in regards to Amazon and how to be able to launch a product on Amazon and what are the things that are working right now and how to just get started on that world, well, check out that interview that I did with Ben Cummins too. So I'm going to try to keep on bringing it to you, but in between these powerhouses that I'm bringing, I'm going to bring a few other powerhouses which I am discovering along the way from my own private group, in which I teach these guys every single week about my social media marketing strategies. And I see their stories and I see what they're doing and they inspire me. And because of that, I decided to create also a mix of my own students and people that are part of my world so they can tell their stories and make it real to you guys what we're doing, how we're winning in social media, and what the opportunities are in regards to marketing in a 2020 tough environment. That there's a lot of people that are not doing well, a lot of businesses. We, in our end, we're doing fantastic. We're breaking records every month. E-commerce is rolling. And because of that, I want to show you guys a roadmap in regards to how to you yourself get yourself on the right track. All right, that's what it's all about. So today, we have a great student of mine. I'm going to bring in now, and we're going to be sharing the screen in a second. His name is Sergio, and Sergio has been a student of mine for quite a while. So bear with me while I bring him in. I lost the picture. Sergio, can you listen? Can you hear me?
He needs to be let back in.
Oh, okay, good. Let me try that again. So it seems like we need a new link for Sergio.
Same one. He's waiting to be let back in on the same one.
Ah, interesting. Let's see. So bear with me, guys, while I bring Sergio here. Okay, I got Sergio in here now.
Hey.
Okay, good. 1 second, Sergio. I'm going to bring it into your screen in a second. Okay, great. So we got Sergio in here. Sergio, can you hear us? Can you hear me well?
I can hear you well.
Okay, great. So you guys can confirm if everybody can hear both Sergio and mine and us well on both sides. So Sergio, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your business, and what are you up to these days in the world of social media?
I live in Vegas and I own a little agency called 𝗟𝗘𝗥𝗡. We run about $250,000 in ad spend, both in Google and Facebook. But, you know, like people tell you that you have to niche down, so I niche down on Google Ads still. It's very important to run social ads alongside. And once you get how media buying goes, you pretty much figure it out. You can figure out any platform, right? So we do that. And right now...
ilovegoogle.ads.com.
Correct.
Nice. I like that. When did you create that company?
That was it's a DBA. My company's been Vegas Video and Web for a long time, but the DBA we took out a year ago.
Oh, wow.
Like three years ago was when I decided to just specialize in media spend and in media buying, and that's when 3 years ago I just started going down the Google Ads path, but still I had to come back to social. I had, you know, everything's necessary. I don't know. You can get really, really good at one thing. I remember you mentioning it in one of your class, but there's still ancillary things that you'll always need in this world, I think. So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay, and what are you seeing on Google right now, out of curiosity?
Right now, Google is getting very, very hard. I see my CPA is going very high up. It's like, I don't know if you've noticed.
Just to clarify, for anybody that's here that doesn't understand the terms that Sergio's using, I'm going to try to clarify them along the way because it's my job to make sure you guys don't have misunderstandings also. Cost per acquisition. He's saying his cost per acquisition is going up in the world of Google. Go on.
Yes. Okay. So what I've observed in the media world is that there's always a pendulum. So when I started going into Google, Facebook was very, very hard and very expensive. Now things are changing the other way around.
Interesting.
If you notice, yes. When I see my feed, I get all these courses for YouTube ads. So that's when I know that the market's getting saturated. And I'm noticing that very, very intensely. Anything on Google that you don't get a first action for a conversion on the first page, it's very, very hard to get to convert. Anything that goes 2 pages down, especially on YouTube right now, because I think YouTube is trying to go in the way of, you watch your content and it's long and it's long form, but when you get served an ad, you want to get back to your content. So I think people have to get that first action right away, so that you're able to convert and get whatever you need from them, either their email or a small sale. A small tripwire sales work really well, anywhere from $10 to $20. You can pretty much get a customer at cost, which means you can get a customer as, for zero, whatever you sell, that's what you spend on ad spend. So whenever I go down on the YouTube route, I try to get people to have a good series of products or things that they can follow up on the back end.
Right.
So they can profit on that, because the cost per acquisition on YouTube is getting more expensive, in my experience and my observation.
And I'll tell you the reality of these two worlds, because they're very different, Sergio. I do a lot of Google Ads myself. We have an AdWords department, and we put a lot of attention on it. But one thing that I have seen over the years is that for the small business that doesn't have a big advertising budget, you cannot start just with the Google Ads world, because it's not going to be affordable. Now, you can get to a point in which Google Ads becomes a powerhouse. For example, I can tell you for Dr. Berg, Google Ads are a very big deal and a very big part of the marketing results. Why? Because he has a humongous audience. Natural Slim, for my dad's brand, we do a lot of Google Ads, YouTube advertising. Why? Because we have a humongous audience. The way that I look at Google Ads, YouTube ads at this point, is it's like a step on the journey, that when somebody already is engaging with the content, they're watching the videos, they're visiting the websites, at that point, Google Ads becomes that much more valuable. But to drive cold traffic, nothing is a quicker path than social media. And again, I think anybody that's here on Facebook or on YouTube, or you, Sergio, that you know me, I call myself the Facebook ninja, just because, just like you, call your website I Love Google Ads, and you had to niche down on something. And just like I said at the beginning of the podcast, at the beginning of the seminar today, that when I did my podcast, I called it The Power of Marketing, and nobody was paying attention. But when I named it the Facebook Marketing Ninja, the podcast took off. Well, niching down is a big deal. So I myself, I'm an expert marketer, and I understand marketing in general, and I'm obsessed with marketing and attention, but I'm not necessarily a Facebook fan. When I look at, for example, this is like the company, right? That's over here. You can see here, this is the Facebook stock that's happening like every single, you might be seeing it in reverse, but it's going up, all right? Up in a big way. This is Facebook stocks today. Yesterday, the company reached $150 billion in market cap. It's going to be the next trillion-dollar corporation. When I see that, I keep on seeing them. I mean, if you compare them to the second place and the third place and the fourth place, they are so far away from the attention-grabbing world. Like, they have a massive separation. And because of that, I have been putting so much attention on the Facebook platform. And as you know, Sergio, I did the whole course and the training and the coaching program and the weekly trainings. And I have a big, big, big dedication to the Facebook platform, because for the mom and pop, for the small business, for the small guys that we don't have an immense advertising budget, there's no better opportunity. And I know that I might be preaching to the choir, and that's not the idea, but the point, in fact, is that if you have a small budget, you got to put it all on social media. I'll tell you something that, a true story, Sergio, that I can give credit where credit is due. About 4 years ago, this is a story that you might not know. I went with my father. Do you know my father, Sergio? You've seen it? You've heard of it?
I've been hearing as I'm going down your content path. I've been hearing a little bit about him. I've seen a few videos. I speak Spanish myself from Mexico, so
I would assume so. Sergio Chavez, you didn't have to tell me that, right?
Of course.
So my father, he's a content machine. This guy is a powerhouse. 2,000 episodes on his YouTube channel now. We do hundreds of posts every single week. His content has taken off, like incredible. 70-year-old man. For those of you guys that are in the 60s or 70s and think that you're too old, just be clear. This guy is a machine, doing it every day. I'm trying to actually have them separate a little bit so he can just create more products and be a researcher. But he's intense. Point is that 4 years ago, all right, I took, it's a long story that we're not going to get into right now, but you know Gary Vaynerchuk, right?
Of course, yeah.
In the world of marketing, we all do. Gary V and I had a connection through email, and we kept on talking back and forth to each other. Why? Because he saw, before he really took off, before he really exploded, the story that a lot of people don't know about us is that we have a YouTube channel called Metabolismo TV, which stands for Metabolism TV. Okay, good. So if you guys know Gary Vaynerchuk, you know that he has a YouTube channel, which is where he started, called Wine Library TV. So, all honesty, full disclaimer, and we even told Gary this, we literally plagiarized his entire marketing strategy.
Sorry. Yeah.
Sergio's checking it out right there, right? That's my dad right there. That Sergio just pulled up his video. We literally plagiarized his entire Wine Library TV strategy, the whole thing. How did that happen? Well, because in 2012, when we didn't have enough attention, it's been 8 years now, when my dad's book was kind of like, it was selling well, but we weren't taking off, and we had a little small office the size of a bathroom in Natural Slim USA. We were not doing that well. My dad got in his hands a book called Crush It. A lot of you guys might have heard about this book. It's a book that Gary wrote. It was his first book on the subject of social media and the opportunity. We took that book. My dad gave it to me and my wife, and he said, you got to read this. We sat down, we strategized, and the concept of Metabolismo TV was created based on that book. So along the way, we started taking off. 2014, 2015, the content starts taking off. My dad was doing 4 videos every single week. Now he does 7, but it started taking off. So we became a success story. So at some point, 2015, I sent him an email, and then we started getting in communication back and forth, and he was excited about it, and then he started pitching me to buy some of his new books, and we had a lot of conversation back and forth on email, and at one point, he said, why don't you guys come to our office and visit me? I want to give you a one-on-one strategy. True story, all right? One of the episodes he has a show called The Daily V, which I think they canceled, and now it's called The Weekly V, but I think it's episode 37, and I think it's called Jersey Boy. You can make a note of that and look for it, Daily V Jersey Boy. My dad, myself, and my wife, we are in his office, and we went over strategy. At that point, we were doing okay. I think we had like 50,000 subscribers. We were a good success story. Natural Slim was uptrending. We were getting all this attention. Products were selling. We expanded to a couple of different countries. We're in now 9 countries now. At that point, we were in 3 countries only. And the one thing that he said, my biggest takeaway, Sergio, at that point, he said, okay, I want to tell you guys something. And this is very important. I need you guys to pay attention. And I'm a big fan of Gary. There's not many people that I call a mentor of mine. Ben Cummins is a mentor. Gary V is a mentor. My dad is a mentor. It doesn't go beyond these 3 guys. That's just the way it is, right? I was very close to his content and his information, and we connected so much that I call him a mentor. He sat us down 2015, might have been 2016, 4 years ago, and he said, I need you guys to figure out the least that you need to survive. The least that you need to survive. To pay your bills, to pay your rent, to pay your school for your kids, pay your food, whatever it is. The least possible that you have to take home, all right? Figure that out for all 3 of you guys. Once you do, this is talking about me, my wife, and my dad, which we are the partners in the corporation. And he looked at me and he said, I want you to put every single other penny, every single penny that you can find, and put it all on Facebook. Don't spread it, all right? Don't go to Google. Don't go to this one. Don't go email marketing, this one, that one, or investor here. Don't go to Billboard. Grab every single penny you can find under the moon, under the carpets, under anywhere, and put it all on Facebook. And my dad was shocked because at that point he was doing TV. We're doing like $100,000 in advertising on television. We were doing radio. He was so like impacted by it that as soon as we got out, he said, "Son, let's do it. Let's go ahead. Let's pull the plug. Let's go all in." And we went all in. And what happened after that is history, Sergio. We blew up to another extreme. At that point, I can tell you that we were doing probably $1.5 million a year, $2 million a year at the most. This year, we're probably going to end up breaking $40 million internationally in just 4 years. Why? Good advice, man. When you get good advice and if somebody's smart and you have something that you know is really valuable and it becomes a truth to you, it becomes a reality, you follow through, you get stuff done, and I'm sure that you have gone through that yourself, that you get good advice, good education, good information, and then you execute and magical things happen. So we went all out. My dad, 66 years old at this point, we said, "Let's do it, son. I'm pulling the plug. Cancel TV, cancel this one, cancel that one. Let's get all our coins and we're going all in." And that's what we did. We got millions of followers on Facebook. We crossed 3 million subscribers on YouTube right now. How did the YouTube explosion happen so much? Well, Facebook became our traffic generating source. With Facebook, we ended up creating one of the biggest Facebook Messenger lists. First of all, we got 1.5 million people on ManyChat. I dare anybody to tell me that they have a bigger list than what we have worldwide. And I know ManyChat knows that. Our size is double the list size, for example, of a Dr. Berg or a lot of these guys that are out there. And we have a powerful list. And that list, once you have that list, which was built through Facebook, through social media, we have used that list to flow this power to YouTube and all these other places. So you use that as this is where you can get all the traffic that you need. And then once you build an audience and you have people consuming the content like we do, for example, on our YouTube channel, then on YouTube, we start retargeting people. And now at that point, we can do Google ads and do pre-rolls and we do Google search consoles and we do all that stuff. We get it done, but only after we have an audience. I really recommend to people to go to Sergio and go to ilovegoogleads.com. Once you get your content strategy rolling enough that you have an audience built on Google, all right? If you have that built on YouTube, then at that point, you should be doing some advertising on that platform because advertising to warm audiences on Google is an absolute powerhouse winner marketing strategy. So you can do that right there, but if you're gonna go cold traffic, no, save your money, guys. Save your money and keep it on the social media world because social media is your golden opportunity to be able to generate the attention of new eyeballs. Does that make sense, Sergio? What do you think about that?
Yes, I'm taking notes as you're taking it. I really like it. You know, I'm gonna use it as part of the principles that as part of the pillars that I use. So this is good. This is good. And I was getting like tons of ideas already on, you know, creating UTMs and different things for the retargeting as you were speaking. So, I mean, I totally get you. Yes.
Good. Something that I'll tell you before I forget, Sergio. One thing that I regret not having the time to do, and I wish I could do it, and I see somebody like you, and I can see the potential and the opportunity. If you really want to grow this agency, where's your attention on this agency? Do you really want to grow it? Do you really want to expand the agency? Okay. Well, let me tell you what a golden opportunity is. You should be paying me for this advice, all right? I'm not gonna charge you. This is like huge. My wife is upset at me because I'm not doing this enough. We need to cater to our Latin audiences, man. You need to cater to them. When you look at, for example, Natural Slim, right now we are in Natural Slim offices. AGM Marketing shares space with Natural Slim. We have buildings over here and we're growing and it's awesome. Let me tell you something. My dad, with our content, which is Metabolismo TV content, we have audiences throughout the world. I can tell you that if we break it down, 25% of them are from Mexico. 50% of them are around the world. Colombia, you got 10%. Spain, you got 10%. Costa Rica, Ecuador, Panama, Argentina, etc. The USA is 22% of our entire audiences. And the company here in the USA, I told you $40 million a year, right? We're going to break 40 million. The USA only is going to break 25. Just USA. And we are 100% Latin servicing. We don't service Americans. The people that buy from us that are US speaking only people, like English speaking only, they buy from us accidentally because maybe they ran into my dad's book, which is in English. It's called The Power of Your Metabolism. Maybe they got a referral from a neighbor who's a Latin person. Those are the people that buy from us, from the English-speaking world. We cater to the Latin community. In the US alone, this is one of the most underutilized gold mines in the world. In the US alone, out of 300 million people in this country, 50 million of them are Latin American people. And these people are not being serviced, they're not being talked to. They're not. So I myself have not been able to jump into that world because my marketing agency, obviously I'm the face, I'm the personal brand. I talk in English all the time, even though my language is Spanish. That's my main language. Obviously you guys can probably sense the accent. So I myself have been talking in English nonstop for years now. And I have abandoned the Latin world, which is in desperate need for education. So if you really want to grow fast the agency, I would do everything in your power to make sure that you start catering to these people. Start doing content. Look at the roadmap that I created myself. My agency, Sergio, is built on me and my personal brand. People that are my clients came in through one of two ways. Either they are my fans of my content, consuming my videos, doing my programs, doing my courses, or they are referrals from clients that are really happy. That's it. So if you want to get clients in the Latin world, Mexico, United States, and all these countries, that is a really golden opportunity, but you got to start doing content, you got to start doing videos, you got to start educating, you start giving tips, and becoming a personal brand. And that is the fastest road for you to be able to get a huge influx of clients. And then along the way, Sergio, you can do the training that I give you guys, how to build a team. We've done a lot of training on that. How can you create a system that duplicates what you know, so you at the same time don't have to be running the campaigns yourself, and that has to be built by you. Right now, I can tell you that I don't run campaigns. I don't run marketing campaigns. I only run campaigns with you guys when we're doing training every single week. We create things together sometimes, and we look over your accounts, and we do all the things, but I don't personally run campaigns. I'm in charge over marketing, and I'm in charge over strategies, and I'm in charge over being the CEO of the organization. But other than that, we just keep on getting people trained along the way.
To validate what you're saying about the Latin audiences, I have a couple of case studies I do. I have a lady here in Vegas. She sells pre-planned funerals. Last year and she only caters to. She's not comfortable with English-speaking audiences, so she caters to Spanish-speaking people. And we do have the little video that we have a winning headline. I help you pre-plan funerals and your funeral and your whatever, right? And we always run a square video with those things with her headline at the top and then her name on the bottom and her phone. We're responsible for $500,000 in sales for a company, because it's like an insurance type thing. And with the COVID, we had to take it off for a bit because people were getting insensitive. It was getting flagged for insensitive content for the time.
Wow.
And it's just a 50,000 people audience here in Vegas that gets to see that. So she started getting the effect in the supermarket or outside. Well, even people were going outside sometimes. And like, we don't see you on the Facebook anymore because it's such a small audience that we reach it like 5 or 6 times a month. So in her brand, in her world, she's become the injury lawyer, right? I call it the billboard effect because you see the same injury lawyer type billboards whenever you're driving around. So I call it the billboard effect on Facebook. it works really, really well on local audiences. I also have a couple of realtors that speak Spanish, Alex Pasos, and they do content in Spanish. And and Brenda Beltran and their boyfriend and girlfriend, and they're like a telenovela, man. It's like, and people eat that like crazy. They like it, the drama. So I get your point, but I haven't like explored that path. Like just go down. It's just been by happenstance. But you're right.
It's a long term, Sergio. It is a long term thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to create false expectations here on that world, because
of course.
I think I have been doing this content. My first ever live seminar, first ever time that I ever got on stage. Again, full of like public speaking fears, wondering what the heck am I doing on this stage talking to these people? I shouldn't be here. I'm a faker. All those things that are part of like becoming a personal brand. It's incredible how you will see people at the top of their game still go for these things. My first ever was on January 2017. So it's been 3.5 years by now that I have been doing this aggressively. By now, I don't even know, hundreds of webinars, thousands, so many content pieces, 200, 400 publications a week, so many hundreds of episodes on podcasts and so on. So it's been 3.5 years. And if you look at my social media, Sergio, you're not going to see me getting 1 billion views on every single video. Sometimes you don't even see me getting 100, 200, 500 views. But what you will not see either is that there's a lot of people being influenced by you that you don't even get to see. And then you meet them and they tell you life-changing stories, and it's incredible. And then I also have people coming into AGM. We have a big list of clients already in AGM. Many of them are VIPs. Many of them I got a couple celebrities. I got some big companies. I got public corporations. How did it all happen? The word travels, man. It travels. People start talking about it, and who knows? Somebody talks about this, and somebody talks about that, and somebody mentions your name, and then you create a positive effect. And then what happens is what I have today, which is people that are on my agency, that are my clients, that I get to deliver my strategies on. They're generally my fans. So when I join a meeting, for example, they're like, oh my God, Manuel, you're here. So you get to realize the effect that you're creating. Even at my scale, which is nothing compared to some of these big boys that are up there, we're still creating some massive effects. So you just want to put your head down and do it and work aggressively every day, building a system while you get your personal brand out there, because you can't think about a number of months or a number of years. You just got to just do it. And if it's valuable enough, eventually people will want to pay attention and stay close to you. And I can tell you one thing. The Latin audience is definitely incredibly underserviced. And they need more marketing help, and they need more marketing power, and they need people to teach them, especially in this era, how it works. And I have not been able to get time to do it myself. I'm too into this world right now with the coaching program, with my students, with my agency, with my staff, with all the things that I have going on right now that I haven't been able to get the time. So I think that's a smart way to go about it.
Thank you, Manuel. I will. And to validate again what you're saying about your brand, that's how I came into the fold. My first mentor when I came here to the States, I don't know if you know her. She knows you very well. She's in Florida. 𝗟𝗘𝗥𝗡. She talked to me about you, and then like a week later, I was buying into your into the
What's
membership.
her name? What's her name?
𝗟𝗘𝗥𝗡.
So I bet you she's a badass, and she somehow, she is, right? And she somehow found out about me, and then she spreads the word, and I don't even know about it.
Well, she speaks so highly of you, man. It's
that's
insane.
Incredible.
It's insane.
I need to meet her. You need to give her my contact info and have her reach out. Yeah,
I
for
will,
sure.
definitely.
I would love to meet her. Where do you live, Sergio?
I'm in Vegas.
Oh, you said you're in Vegas. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. You get to gamble a lot or not really?
No, not really. I used to play poker when it was hot, but for me, it's an opportunity. It's anything that's not doing what I'm doing right now, it's an opportunity cost. So, but I used to play a little bit of Texas Hold'em back in the day.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
All right, Sergio, so can you tell me a little bit about what you're seeing in the social media world? What results have you accomplished? What have you learned? What big good things you have discovered along the way that you can share with the audience here? We have a bunch of people on Facebook. We have people on YouTube right now. So let us know.
Well, I'm assuming that a lot of our public right now is people that are that are doing agency work or those type of things. Um, the latest things that I've come to realize in like right now is that we have such a power. Um, I just had a. I mean, I see every clients that come in now. When you get what you're doing, right? I'm seeing clients that are coming in that you get. I just had a client that from 0 to 1,000 sales in ecom, and I was just thinking, how are we? We have a fantastic tool that creates that. It's a huge lever that you can use to change a business, and you can be responsible of creating 5 jobs here, 5 jobs there. It doesn't matter, but it's your little impact on the world, right? So I was just thinking the other day, having the cognition that we have to have, there has to be an ethical or vocational way of doing things to think about, how you help people. Because, like I was telling you, I was just responsible for a company going from 0 to 1,000 sales in 1 month, and it's a little baby toy thingy, right?
Oh, wow.
And like you said, Facebook, and you have such a power in this world, and you have such a power to help people that I think that's the only way to go. Just focus on the help, because I used to be the guy struggling. Now I'm in a good point in my agency, not like you where I would like to be. Like you're my mentor right now, or you're the what I look up to, like you did to Gary Vee once. But
I'm not where I would like to be yet either, Sergio.
exactly. But you get to a point after the struggle and the survival, you get to a point where you're okay, right? So then you gotta, instead of looking to get the next contract or the next retainer, you start really looking. I have started really looking as how to help my clients. I've changed my style of charging. For example, I go in for a whole month and I charge end of month. And I like to, I know that within 30 days, if you can crack their puzzle or not. And you can't crack every puzzle because not every product fits market, not every market fits product, and the cost just doesn't come in. Some products
That's the way it
will come
works.
in at a very high cost per acquisition.
So question. Do you give them free service for a month, basically? Like,
Yeah.
not free, but you're going to charge them at the end if it all works out? And what happens if it doesn't work out?
If it doesn't work out, it's like, we did our best. We did our best. I like to keep that integrity, and it makes me sleep so well at night because we tried 4 or 5 approaches, we couldn't do it. And then, there's always competition and people coming in and bidding and stuff. So then you're like, okay, well, try this guy. But in your heart of hearts that you did your best. And
I love that. I love that. That's something that I tell you that I highly recommend for anybody struggling financially, that is looking to generate extra income. There is so much opportunity right now. People lined up that want to be a part of this social media tsunami, that they want to be a part of this internet era, and they don't know how. So somebody like Sergio, that is a brilliant strategy, Sergio. Like I would even highly recommend anybody that doesn't have the budget to start with an agency like us, or let's say, for example, a Gary Vee, VaynerMedia, Experience. I mean, these guys, they start at $25,000, $100,000 a month. Most businesses cannot do that. They cannot afford those retainers. In my case, I can tell you that our retainers are also not something that people can easily start with. So if you go down the route, I myself, because of all the heavy cost of operation, cannot do what Sergio is doing right now. But that's the way that you start. That's the way that you want to prove your value. You go in there and you say, I'll work. You don't have to pay me. We're going to figure out your market. We're going to figure out we're going to make it work. And then at the end of the month, I will charge you. All right. So that is brilliant. And I love that as a good takeaway for any of you guys here that are looking to generate a boost in income. All you got to do is do what Sergio is doing, which is he has worked on his own value by improving his own skill. You increase your own skill, your worth goes up. You're able to go to somebody's table and tell them, look, I'm not going to cost a lot of money. I want to prove myself. I want to do this for you. I think you have a good market. I think you have a good product and a service. I want to help you. I can bring you leads. I can bring you sales. Give me 30 days, and all you got to do is invest a little bit of money on advertising, and that has to come from you. You give me that, we'll go out there together. There's not much to lose and a lot to gain. Is that more or less the approach, Sergio, that you're taking with people?
Yes, yes, but even with big people, I do have enough reserves in the till to be able to. I have a small team of 4, so I what do you call it? I just put it into my hours for my people, and it's a risk that I'm willing to take because we have a very good rate. I mean, about 80%. We figure out. I call it figuring out the puzzle, right? Like figuring out the piece of the right cost per acquisition, of the right product and the right market fit and the right content. Because sometimes it's hard to get the content out of the client. So I'll get. I already have like 3 or 4 video crews that I refer and I direct them whenever we need content. Because I like, for example, to get content to go and interview somebody and get 10, 20, 30 questions, and then make square type videos with a headline with a question. And those are working really, really well. And we use them for everything from ads and all that. Because not a lot of people are savvy or willing to create the amount of content that you and I would be willing to do.
Okay, so let's break that down. I think that's a really good point and a great idea. So when you have a client, you basically create a list of questions, you go to the client and you interview the client and you ask all these questions on camera and you have them just communicate about the question. And then you grab that content and you split it into separate sections, and then you have top of the funnel content that you can use for lead generation or whatever. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay, that's a great strategy, guys, even for you, because I know a lot of you guys that are here listening in, you not only, a lot of you guys are not agency owners, like me and Sergio. A lot of you guys are marketers that you're trying to figure out marketing for your own business, and you're trying to create a content system and a content routine. What a great idea that is. You grab a camera, you have a series of questions that you know that you're passionate about, that you could answer easily, that you talk about it in your breakfast, in your sleep, all throughout your day, and you don't get tired. You record yourself with good audio. Make sure you have good audio. I mean, it's incredible. I can tell you one thing about these devices right now. They have incredible microphone right now. If you have a good room and you don't have people interrupting you, you can sit down and record great content with great quality audio and great graphics, and that's going to be enough for you guys to get some attention at the top of the funnel to generate leads. So that's a great point right there. Sergio, when you are putting these clips out there and you're advertising, putting some energy behind it, what is your end goal? When you say they're working really well, what's happening with these video clips that you're creating with your clients?
Most of the things are top of funnel. Most of the things that I do are top of funnel. I don't. I'm not doing a lot of pages or down the funnel. Just lead generation or initial
top of the
sales.
funnel, a little video, and then you ask for their information, and then you get the lead. Okay.
Correct. Yeah. The case depending. Some even like the funeral lady, she does direct to messenger and a little bot, and that's it. Because some of the clients, it's hard to get CRMs and all that stuff, and it just goes way out of cost. So you gotta get I do, and I try to get the fastest path. Lead forms too, I see it work very well. So just we specialize just on top of funnel stuff.
Right. So you're doing lead generation campaigns like Facebook lead ads. You're doing also messenger lead ads also. And then you are making sure that the clients are able to jump on board and handle these leads very fast, right?
That's right, yes.
Okay. And in what areas have you had, what is your number one social media strategy? How did you learn it? And what happened when you tested it out?
The billboard effect.
Tell me about the billboard effect.
The billboard effect, very simple. Two ways. You create 4 commercial type videos, 3 or 4 for the month, and then you get 20 to 30 postings. Even with a small budget, with 1,000 or 500 in ad spend. The commercial video you run with 80% of the budget, and then you retarget with timeline content just 20% of the time. 20%
So the
of
commercial
budget.
video, how do you make the commercial video?
The commercial exactly what I told you. Just interviewing, getting that question. Let's take the funeral example right now. We help you pre-plan your funeral, right? And then people that see people on a car wash, like because somebody died or whatever, they're getting funds to be able to pay for that. They have that top of mind, and if it's already at the top of mind because of the billboard effect, because people know, oh, this lady, whenever they get up and see it when they're in the bathroom, oh yeah, now I know that I need that service. Okay, I'm gonna call her up. It's a very long sales cycle. We've been doing this for 1.5 years, but it creates a lot of familiarity, and the billboard effect is just for local. Just that strategy is just for local people, like salespeople, realtors, funerals, or even car sales. I have not done those niches, but the niches that I'm telling you right now. You create that, and then you get the client saying, you know, I went to the supermarket and people like look at me weird because they think they know me, and it's true because they're the lawyer in the billboard. So
I like
call
that.
it I'm gonna TM it, right? Trademark.
Yeah, so 1-800 Ask Gary. Who doesn't know that, right? Like, I mean, I think they're like, I don't know if they're Florida only, but these guys. Man, everybody knows the phone numbers. It is a powerful thing. Did you come up with the billboard idea yourself, billboard effect?
I just saw it working. You experiment and then you find your little formula, and it works. Like for a strategy that I can give you real quick, that's one.
Yeah,
and it's direct to lead form or messenger.
That's great, really powerful. So guys, if you don't know about these little things, for example, a Facebook lead generation campaign, you need to learn it. I do have training on that. I do cover it quite a bit. Google is also your friend. For example, you can just type into the Google browser how to do a Facebook lead ads campaign. And it's going to show you an exact article directly by Facebook on how to set up a Facebook lead ads campaign. If you're here right now on this Facebook Live, if you're listening to the podcast, because this will be on the podcast, if you're on YouTube, wherever, chances are that you understand the Facebook Business Manager already. You might have been listening to my content. Maybe I'm lucky that I have you here for the first time ever. You got to learn the subject a bit. Everything in life requires a learning curve. LeBron James doesn't go out of his mom's womb shooting three-pointers and dunking the ball. He had to develop that skill. Same thing with bicycle riding, same thing with any ability that you have. So you have to learn it and you have to master that. So there's always a learning curve. So if you guys are feeling right now a little bit confused or lost, or you don't know where to start, then you got to go back to the beginning. One thing that I can tell you, for those of you guys that are here, I have free training and free education. You guys can go to manuelsuarez.com/mini courses, for example, and it's going to guide you directly to some series of courses that you can get done in the subject of Facebook advertising to get the basics of it, so you can just get yourself off the ground at least while you develop that skill. But what Sergio is talking about here is the subject of lead generation on Facebook, something that I am very passionate about. For example, you don't even need a website. Sure, a website is really important still. I'm not saying that you don't need one in your entire business career, but right now, if you have a business that requires leads, if you're trying to generate leads for a client or for yourself, well, you can do it without a website. You can go to Facebook Business Manager and you can create a lead generation campaign and have a very simple form that just gets the people through the process. You can extract the leads, the information, the email, the phone number, and be able to communicate with these people instantly. Sergio has a little bit more of an advanced system, so do I, because we have a CRM in place, which is a customer relations management software system that brings the lead in, and then we put a sales process in place to make sure that we follow up. So it depends, but it's very easy to start. If you, for example, are looking for a couple of leads a day, then you can just get started with a couple of steps and just get going with bringing some attention towards your business. So the breakdown of what he said is like a billboard effect. you grab your content. And how do you create that content? You put a series of questions that you know people will be interested in because it's your area of expertise. You have the content creator or yourself answer those questions. You go and you do some post-editing. You can either hire somebody on places like Fiverr, Upwork, whatever it is that you want to use, to break it into different pieces, add some graphics to it so people know what you're answering, and then you go to the Facebook Business Manager and you grab one of those pieces and you select a campaign called Lead Ads. That's the objective campaign, and then you go and you select an audience. That could be a local audience, that could be a national, wherever you can service, and then you select that video, add some copy on it, and then fill out your form for the Facebook Lead Ads form. When a lead comes in, that person is going to be sent to you. You're going to get that programmed, and you're going to have access to that in the Facebook Business Manager directly, so you can see whatever information you ask for, the email, the address, if you want to have the physical address, say that you have an alarm system that you can install on people and you can do free evaluations or roof inspections or whatever it is. You can get physical addresses, you can get emails, you can get phone numbers, you can get data from the customer, call them right away, let them know that you're on your way or whatever it is, and start delivering services to people by providing value. Now, one thing, I don't know what you think about this, Sergio, but one thing that I have seen for these campaigns, and you can either confirm or deny this, but I have a lot of data with my own things that I'm handling over here with the millions of dollars that we spend on advertising, is that even on cold traffic, you should not be selling directly to people. Like, for example, here's a little video that answers a certain question. Comment below or click below and give me your information. So I can sell you a $99 system or $195 consult. I still don't do that because I have not seen that to be profitable. Why don't I, right now in this era, 2020, August, still COVID-19 environment, why am I not confident on going after a sale on cold traffic on that first contact? You guys, if you see me enough, you know that I talk against that. I talk about building audiences. That first contact has to be about something for them. You have to give them something that is real, not something that is made up, not something that you think is valuable, something that they know is valuable. A free inspection, a free visit, an analysis, an evaluation, a one-on-one consult. For example, right now with Dr. Berg, we launched a keto consult over the phone with actual keto consultants. We have a phone number now, and we're helping them, and it's a free keto consult. In my dad's business, in Natural Slim, we have a free metabolism evaluation. And other things, we have quizzes, and we have surveys, and we have free inspections. There's many things that you can do, but that first point of contact, from that first video that they see, to them giving you the information, if you want to avoid skepticism, you got to make sure that it's something valuable to them first before you go for the close. Do you agree with that, Sergio, or what have you seen? Have you gotten results going straight for a $99 package?
Not to a $99 package, but if it's a perceived value, we're running a campaign right now for a spa, and they do facials, and the facials are worth around $250. So people get very skeptical when you go for free. So we've noticed that $29 as an intro offer has worked, but the cost per acquisition is high. It's about $50 total with their costs and everything.
So you got to be willing to lose money on that first contact.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. And if it's a small business that doesn't have the budget, yeah, they're not going to be able. I just turned down another lady that wanted to do a membership for $200 from cold, cold. She cured herself from an autoimmune disease, and she wants to help people do it. But she's like, I want them to pay me $200 a month, just because that's what it is. And I'm like, and you're the wizard here in Vegas. Come help us. And I'm like, nope, I won't take that, because you're going direct to a $200 offer. You haven't proved yourself. People don't know you. They're not going to pay you $200 a month to show them how to cure themselves. Right?
And you got to have your integrity, right? You got to know, I'm not going to take your money, because you're going to end up wasting your money. And guess who you're going to blame? You're going to blame me. And because of that, keep your money in your pocket, right? That's the way to do it. Another hot tip that I will give you, maybe it's going to help you or any business out there. For example, restaurants. Right now, obviously, it's a big deal. It's one of the hardest hit industries in the world. The ones that did not get adjusted to this whole to-go or this whole like Uber Eats or whatever the platforms are out there, because the applications have exploded. Uber Eats, what's the other one? DoorDash, Grubhub, I don't know what that's called. There's a lot of them that have taken off, but the actual restaurant business has been really, really hit hard. If a business is smart enough in the world of the restaurant owners, and this applies to any business, customer retention is where the bread and butter is made, right? Customer retention has to be your obsession. So just like Sergio and his clients are willing to go under for every single acquisition because they believe that their systems are in place for them to keep them for a certain amount of time, then you have to have that in place. Like a restaurant that I have seen, for example, they have a system in place, and this is what they do. They invest on giving them a free coupon, for example, to get a pizza, $20. No purchase necessary, nothing necessary. The only requirement is that they need to eat on the pizza place. Required. You cannot take it to go. It's for dine-in only. There's a reason for that. Wait a second, COVID-19, wouldn't you rather have people go away? Well, right now, there's rules depending on the city and the state, 25% capacity, 50% capacity, etc. People still want to have restaurants fall in love. Like you as a restaurant, you want to have people fall in love with your restaurant. Otherwise, they're not going to come back to you. So what I have seen a restaurant do is the following. They do a Facebook ad and they run a coupon. We want to help you. You know, you see me talk about the humanitarian campaign, Sergio, quite a bit, right? Like how do we position ourselves as superheroes, right? But the fact of the matter is that this campaign, that's how you start. But in the end, you're trying to keep people to be part of your world consistently.
Stop. Can you clarify what you mean by the humanitarian campaign?
A couple of months ago, I did a whole training on this, how a business, and you have access to this training yourself, how you as a business can position yourself as a superhero, meaning that you're going to give so much value that people think you're almost crazy. You're giving away free products, free services, things that generally you sell to the world. You're giving it away because you are uniting with the world. And you want to give your superpower to them because we're all going through difficult times. And this is applicable to any business. Like my dad, he gave away a $100 course for free. We generated 250,000 leads in a matter of 6 weeks with this strategy. Myself, I gave away my program for 6 weeks. Thousands of dollars of cost towards my organization. Dr. Berg, another course. A client of mine, he gave away products that he had too much inventory on. Whatever it is, you're giving something that is actually very, very important and valuable to you. For real. I'm not talking about a one-page PDF. I'm not talking about an ebook that doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't really hurt your pocket. I'm talking about something that really hurts. So for example, on this scenario with the restaurant, a restaurant that does this, they say, okay, here's a Facebook ad. We have the best pizzas in town, the best pizzas. Here's a little testimonial from them, from people talking about it. Here's the experience. Here's a video showing the restaurant. And let me show you how we keep the place sane and sanitized and clean. And this is how cool. Well, we want to give you a lot of value. We want to give you support in these difficult times. Here's a coupon right here. You can download it right here. This is a free pizza valued at $20. It's all yours. All right. So come and claim your coupon today. Limit 1 per person. Boom. That's it. So people come in, and it is a requirement, and this is part of the copy on it, this is part of the messaging, that they have to dine in. So when they come in, the waiter that receives them, or let's say the hostess, depending on the setup, they can actually grab a little blue napkin, or a red napkin, or a color-coded napkin. And they can say to the person, hey, is this your first time here? Oh yeah, I got this coupon on Facebook. Oh great, thank you very much. There's 2 piles of napkins. One of them is the green one, and one of them is a white one. If this person has never been there before, you grab the green one, all right? And you sit them down. Immediately, it sends a message to the entire restaurant. that person is here for the first time. Make sure that you do everything that you need to do to make that person fall in love with your restaurant. They see it, the waiter sees it, the chef sees it, everybody's in line with making that customer have an experience of their lives. And they're dining in for free. You're not making a penny. What happens is, and there's numbers on the restaurants, and all industries have this, that if a customer falls in love with a restaurant and they have an incredible experience, there is a 60-70% chance that this person is going to come back to your business again. If you do that consistently, when you evaluate the cost of a pizza, it is incredibly cheap to service a free pizza, a sandwich, a plate, or whatever to an individual with the probability of having them come again. If they come a second time, the chances of them coming a third time, I think it becomes like 50%. And then the chances of them coming a fourth time after that, it becomes like 80%. These guys are locals now. That's just the way it is. It's a numbers game. So customer acquisition has to be a big obsession of yours. You have to be willing to lose money up front and then nurture the heck out of these people. And this applies on e-commerce, guys. You got to give more than anybody would ever expect from you on that front end. More, not less. Create an experience for them, whether you're on e-commerce, whether you're servicing something, whether you are providing some kind of business service to people. No matter what that is, give them more and put yourself uncomfortable because you're in it for the long run. You're not in it because you want to monetize now. You want to monetize on the long run. What do you think about that, Sergio?
I love it. I love it. It's I'm a little weak on that side of the business because I don't implement systems for them. But
you have to have a responsibility. You have to have a responsibility of giving them strategy. You are the marketing doctor. If you only are creating ads for them, you're going to have a high failure that you don't want to have long term. Because it's almost like when you go to a doctor and you have like arthritis, and the doctor says, okay, this is an arthritis specialist, all right? They know how to cure the condition. And they say, okay, so you got to take this and this and this, all right? These are your free medications. And this is going to cure you, and you're going to be able to operate in life. And then the patient says, you know what? I'm not going to take this one, not this one. I'll do that one, doctor. Well, wait a second. Who's the educated person here? Who's the doctor? Is it the patient? Or is the actual individual that is prescribing the medication? Who should we listen to? We're supposed to pay attention to what the doctor says because they're supposed to be more knowledgeable than us. That is the viewpoint on the subject of marketing. If you are in charge of marketing, then you need to tell people the strategy because that strategy will determine whether you see results or not. If you don't have the right strategy in place, Sergio, nothing is going to save that business. One thing that I learned from my dad, as he being one of my mentors, and this is something that has been said for ages. Look, son, you got to have the right strategy. A battle doesn't win a war. A strategy always does. It's not about the size of your army. It's about your strategy. And it's so true. So when you look at a business in your initial evaluation, you got to know exactly what the weaknesses are and what are the strengths, and you got to think about a strategy that they need to use to position their business. And if you look at what have we used to take off in COVID-19, because let me tell you something, we have taken off in a big way. Exploded, like to numbers that we thought that we were going to be reaching in 5 years. We're reaching them now. It's all because of a strategy. It's what has driven our expansion. All right? Sergio, you got another question for me? I mean, we're past our mark right now. It's 11:07 a.m. I know we get passionate. We're very dedicated to our world and our subject, but it's time to call it quits for today. You got any more questions for me? That maybe something that you had lined up?
No, not a question, but an acknowledgement, man. Thank you. I thank you for all. I mean, I took copious notes, and I thank you for your training. I like it. It's worth more than I've done all the trainings, trust me, and I'd rather pay that you're giving like thousands of dollars of value, especially for a person like me on your platform. So I thank you for that. That's basically it. You gave me a lot of stuff to think about, mull about, and this might be a very good fork in the road for me. So I thank you very much.
That's awesome, Sergio. I appreciate it very much. It means a lot coming from you. So thank you very much for being here. Stay tuned, guys. I'm going to just say goodbye to Sergio. You did a lot of, you provided a lot of value. And again, you guys should reach out to Sergio if you guys want some help. I love GoogleAds.com. How can you forget that name, right? I don't think you cannot do that with Facebook, by the way. Man, I can say I love Facebook ads. Facebook does not let us use that link. If you use that link, they're going to not let you run any ad ever in your life. So, but you got away with it, so that's good, Sergio.
I got away with it, yes.
Okay. All right, man. Thank you so much for being here. All right, guys. So that was awesome. Very, very cool stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Next week is going to be a surprise. Who we're going to have here. I am flying out to LA for a day only. It's crazy because I haven't been in a plane in so long. Whoa. So it's funny because my dad just came in to town on Sunday, actually on Monday, and he said the plane was pretty full from Puerto Rico coming over here. So I don't know if things are starting to pick up traveling wise. I expected like a flight on my own on this private plane. It's not going to happen. Might have a lot more people, but I'm flying to LA on September 1st, and I'm going to be delivering a webinar, which is going to be recorded on the ManyChat studio, where I'm going to be part of a series of speakers. It's about 10 of us. The lineup is incredible. It's Damon John, it's myself, it's Neil Patel, it's Molly Pittman, it's Molly Mahoney, it's Ryan Dice. I mean, it's incredible. The company that I'm at, it's whoa, quite amazing. I know I'm missing out some people here, some people that are very special in this world. But I'm going to be there for a day only, and I'm going to be delivering this webinar on their studio, and then flying right back on Tuesday. Actually, this is on Wednesday. I fly right back, and then we'll be back here on Thursday. I don't know exactly who I'm going to be having next week. It's going to be a surprise for now. We should be announcing that on Monday, but hopefully these marketing hours are providing you with a ton of value. I'm going to have a mix of people, powerhouses, and other students that are not really personal brands like Dr. Berg's or Ben Cummings or Frank Suarez or whatever. But I'm going to be bringing people that are real, that are going to show you guys their stories and showing you what they're doing successfully in today's environment. If you guys wanted to get access to the ManyChat webinars, the conference, I believe that's happening at the end of September at some point. They're doing this incredible conference. It's called Conversations. I was a part of it in 2019 in Austin, Texas. It was a great event. This time is going to be, as you guys know, the world is different. It's all going to be online. It's very affordable. You guys should check it out. Go through my link. I don't make a penny, but I do like to show them that I'm sending them traffic. I'm not an affiliate for it. I'm not getting paid to send you guys over there. Just so you guys know, it's really, really affordable. If you go to conversationsconference.com/Manuel. Can you check that link out, Chris? I think it's either conversationsconference.com/Manuel or Conversations Conference. I think it's conversationsconference.com/Manuel. And you will land there and you will tell them that I'm the one that, does it work? Conversationsconference.com/Manuel. Yeah. And you will tell them that I'm the one that's sending you guys there, all right? Conversationsconference.com/Manuel. Muhammad says, I am new here. Welcome, Muhammad. Great to have you here. I need your help and support for my business. Used car dealership. Okay, man, get started, excited. You should start it in manuelsuarez.com/mini courses. Christian, maybe you can post that link on the comment box on Facebook. manuelsuarez.com/mini course. Shane says, good job, Sergio. Way to go. Absolutely, I agree. Coca-Cola effect analogy. Think about marketing. I think about Manuel Suarez. I think about AGM. Shane, I like that.
Is it on Facebook?
Yeah, on Facebook. Very good, guys. Great life, says David. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate you guys being here very, very much. All right, guys. See you guys next Thursday. And stay connected. Keep on moving forward. Keep on winning. That's how the game of life is won. Never give up. Keep on pushing yourself.